Good evening. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a great week, and I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us tonight. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. I go live every Tuesday and Friday nights at 6:30. And as you hop on tonight, let Ed know you're here. He's looking at the comments, and hopefully we'll catch the questions. If you have anything you want to ask, just feel free. Doesn't have to be necessarily to do with this wreath. If you're new to the page, you might want to go back and watch the other videos that we've done. So far, we have covered the pull-through method for making a wreath. We've done the ruffle. Tuesday night, we did the poof. And we're going, next week, I think we're going to do, it's officially called the woodland ruffle. So that's.
Rackins and high and melon and Dow.
Thank y'all for being here tonight. First thing we're going to do is draw a name, and I actually am going to use these carrots on our wreath tonight after a lot of back and forth and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So this was our freebie from Tuesday night. If you spread the love, we put your name in the cup and we're going to draw. I'm actually going to give you 2 packs of carrots. One has 6 and one has 4, so that if you decided to use them in every other tie, you would need 9. So the 6 wouldn't do you much good. I think the 4 were probably from last year, and this year they put 6 in a pack, evidently. But anyway, we're going to let Ed draw a name here. Shake them up a little bit, and let's see who gets the carrots for tonight. We're kind of sticking with the theme for Easter now. We've moved on from Valentine.
Paula Reiki.
Paula, congratulations. You're going to put your name on these. Paula is a neighbor, and I'll just walk them down to her tomorrow if it doesn't rain all day. So if you're new, you may be wondering, I need to go through this every week so that everybody understands how they get their name in the cup. Facebook does not like us to use this word, but yet they encourage people to do it. But they don't like you to use the word if you're giving away something. And until I'm done for sure with the different wreath methods, I'm going to be giving something away every time I go live. And tonight we're going to stick with the Easter theme, and it's going to be these pretty Easter eggs. So if you want your name in the bucket for Tuesday night is when we will draw for the Easter eggs. Just do this, push that little button at the bottom, invite your friends now to come in and watch this video. You can also do this if you're watching the replay. I don't cut it off until about 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, I guess it is. And then I'll put all the names in the cup and stuff. So you have from now till Tuesday, you can, we call it around here spread the love, but it's basically, this is what you're doing. So you can spread the love every day to your page if you want to, once, twice. Every time you do it, your name will be in the cup. So this will be the giveaway for next week. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we did Tuesday. Let's just kind of go over a few things. Don't pay any attention to my ribbon. You know I have to work a little bit before we get started. This is what we did Tuesday. We chose the 14-inch wire frame from the Dollar Tree. This is a whole roll of white snowdrift mesh, 10 inches, and we did what we called the poof method, which was so funny.
Melon and Dow said floated your boat.
Oh, yeah. Who is it that uses that? I forgot. I know Kathy from Kathy's Creations now says park the car. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, thanks, Melody. Anyway, it's 10 inches and then poofed. So go back and watch the video from Tuesday if you didn't know, and if you like this method. You can also do this method with a 21-inch. It just makes a taller, fatter wreath. And I'm going to put this one on my Etsy shop when I'm finished with it. And I try not to put huge wreaths up there because shipping
said monkey says it.
Monkey, okay. Yeah, I knew I'd heard it a lot. I tell you, that monkey, she's really getting into some pretty things. She's doing some centers that are diamond something, but they're really pretty. And I keep thinking, okay, I can't branch out to anything else. Okay, so I told y'all when I start figuring a wreath, the first thing I do is get my sign. Well, this is the sign that I had chose and I knew I was going to use. So I get my sign, I decide what color mesh I want to use for my base, and then I choose my ribbons. Normally, I just pick several ribbons because if I'm going to do a bow, I'm usually going to do more ribbons than I do around the edges. I knew that I wanted to use this pretty ribbon because it's the exact same thing as it's the turquoise teal truck with a rabbit and the carrots.
Lynn Gibb says hi.
Hi, and thank you so much for joining. To save time, I knew I wanted to use this and I knew I wanted to use this one. And as it turns out, after I usually cut one or two tails and try to decide what I want to do and make sure I have the length right. So that's what I did today. And I decided I may put tails, just these two ribbons, in all 6 on the top. Because if I put 2 here and 2 here like I thought about, I think it leaves too much white. So I think I need to go to these corners and do it also. If I do it and then don't like it, then we'll take them out. And around the bottom, I decided what I wanted to do was every other. Every single one was a little bit too close together. And this ribbon, I went ahead and cut my ribbon to 12 inches is what I cut my tails at. This ribbon's a little more expensive than some of the other ribbon. And if you're going to pay that much for ribbon, you kind of want it to be seen. You don't want a bunch of stuff interfering with it. So ahead of time, I cut the tails. And then we're going to do something different. This is called a half bow.
Judy Smith, want to know where you got the sign.
The sign and the ribbon both came from the Wreath shop. I put the link in the top of one of the videos when we talked about signs and ribbon. It's just the THE Wreath, WREATH shop, SHOP.com. But that's where I got the sign and the ribbon. I actually, tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I have the stuff to make another wreath exactly like this. So I'm going to be putting a kit in my Etsy shop where you would get, if you're interested in doing one like this, you'd get a whole roll of this ribbon, a whole roll of this ribbon, and they both came from the Wreath shop. You'll get the sign, you'll get the mesh, not cut, but you'll get the whole roll of mesh. You'll get the pipe cleaners, you'll get the frame. Everything you need that I'm going to put, and the carrots that I'm going to put in this wreath tonight. So anyway, I went ahead and cut my main tail. The 2.5 inch is cut, I'm pretty sure I did, 12 inches. So most of them I went ahead and did the dove cut on, but I left 4 so that I can show you how to do it, okay? Let me put these over here. So you may want to go down a little in. I usually pick up 2 at a time. And what I do is take them, put them together, and then fold it in half. I always go from the folded edge out to where it makes a point. The deeper you go, the deeper your V. And then I just cut that. So then you have this, what they call a dovetail. So you want to do that at both ends. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can always just cut your ribbon at an angle, like you see florists do a lot. It's just totally up to you. That once you get the base on and stuff, this is just fun time. And then you just fold it.
Cut towards the wire.
Cut towards the wire. You start at the fold and go up to your wire, and it makes the V. Okay, so that gets that one. Now, normally what I would do, and I have already cut, let's do this one first before I explain about the half bow. Okay, well, a lot of times I will put my sign on first before I put my ribbon tails on. But this time I was not sure if I was going to need ribbon tails around the top, and I thought I probably would. So I'm going to do the ribbon tails first. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom. Okay, and I'm just doing every other one. So I chose the pipe cleaner that's not right under this one. See, I have a pipe cleaner right here too, but I'm going to skip that one for now. So I put this one here. Here I'm going to do all 6. But anyway, I started right here, if you can see. It's the one that's between these two. And then I'm going to skip the next one. And I had to do 2 or 3 of them today because I had some pink checked ribbon. Ed really liked that. But to me, it just took away from the turquoise truck, and it was just too hot pink, and I didn't like it. So my gut told me not to use it, so I'm not using it. It is pretty ribbon, but I'll use it on another one. All right, so I'm going to skip one, and then I'm going to open this one up, take my truck ribbon, fold it in half, and smush it. Now, when you're dealing with something that has a pattern on it, you don't want to put it in here to where your truck's upside down. So as I'm facing, I want it facing me, facing out. So I'm just going to put it in that bottom. We're going around the bottom now, and I'm only going to twist it once because I'm going to come back in and do what they call a half bow. And for that, I decided I was going to use the turquoise. This is cut to 15 inches. The same, I did the same thing with the tails. And then I folded it in half, and I'm going to measure about 2 inches and pinch it to where you have like a loop at the top, and then you have the 2 tails at the bottom. I'm going to put it in that same twist tie with the loop facing in. And I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 twists, and I'm going to cut that pipe cleaner off because I'm not going to use it again. And I'm going to put it behind that loop. I don't know if y'all could see what I did or not. And then you're going to pull the 2 tails out. Now this ribbon it looks about the same on each side, but normally you would need to twist one of them because see, one of them is going to be wrong. So you would need to twist it to make sure you have the right side up. Take your fingers, open the loop, and there you have a half bow. All right, I'm going to skip the next one, and then I'm going to come in on this one, and I'll try to, maybe if I tried to do it upside down, where you can see. Can y'all see this right here where I'm going to put, let me stand up. I'm going to put it in right here. So I'm going to take my truck, fold it in half to find the center, squish it up, and I want my truck going that way. So I'm going to put the truck in there. Sometimes the pipe cleaners, if they're the same color, are hard to see. I'm just going to twist it once or twice. Fold it out a little. All right, then I'm going to take my turquoise ribbon, pinch it. I can usually, right about 2 inches. You fold it in half first, and you make a loop. I'm going to put the loop up, so the pipe cleaners have to be turned that way. So I put it in there with the loop at the top, give it a 3 or 4 twists, cut my pipe cleaner off, and then I'm going to push the pipe cleaner to the back side of that loop. Open up the loop, and then pull these apart. So you've got a half bow. And probably what I'll do when I'm finished is get these to go this way so that you can see that truck. You paid good money for that truck on that ribbon. And then remember to get your ribbons to curl, you just kind of take your fingers, and that's how you get them to go under. Okay, I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to do the same thing on this one. So I have 12 pipe cleaners. So if I'm doing every other one, then I need 6 of each of these for the bottom. And you can see I probably have a half a roll of ribbon. If you do it this way and only do every other one, and you don't put a big bow on it, you probably could do 2 wreaths out of the 2 rolls of ribbon. Now, if you did every single tie, that's 18, which takes a little bit more. Or you could cut the turquoise. I just wanted to show you something different. Do you remember with the one last week, we just took the 2 ribbons, cut them the same length, and you had 2 ribbons hanging out here. This one, we're just doing it a little bit different. They're cut to 15 inches, and you make a half bow. You could put 2 of these together, even different. I saw a cat the other night use 2 different ribbons.
What kind of mesh did you use?
This is snowball or snowdrift. It's about the same thing. Some places call it snowball, some call it snowdrift. Just about all your online you cannot get it at Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure you can't get it at Michael's. It's from one of your online places. Craft Outlet carries it. The Wreath Shop carries it. Trendy Tree carries it. The 3 that I gave you the links of. But it's called Snowball or Snowdrift. Okay, I'm going to do another one. And then I have, 4 on the top. Now, I may get all 4 of those on the top and not like the way it sticks out from the sign. And I may just go back to 2. You know, Kat the other night used 2 like this and did a bow here and a bow here. Different colors. But I wanted to keep it pretty simple, and I wanted to keep the cost for the kit down. So, like I said, as soon as I can get pictures of everything, it's going to go up in my Etsy store as a kit. A little different than the sunflower kits, because the sunflower kits, it was poly burlap and I cut the mesh for you. This, you don't cut the mesh, if you remember. You just keep going, so I wouldn't be cutting the mesh for you. Okay, I've got them on every other, and you don't really worry because you're constantly, as a wreath maker, you're constantly trying to fix ribbon. Okay, so all the way around, every other. Now I'm going to come back in here and find every single one, and I've done 2, so I should have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to do the same thing. Fold it in half. Put 1 piece of the ribbon in there. Last year, this ribbon, I have a part of a roll from last year, and the background from last year was actually this check. But this year, I thought I was buying matching ribbon, but it's a little bit different this year. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these off too. But, you know, if you don't like the half bows, you don't have to do them. This is where you use your own creativity, and I'm just going to try to show you something different with each one. And I debated about the carrots, but the truck does have carrots in it. I really wanted pink, kind of the hot pink deco mesh tubing. And of course, I've got a tub full of tubing. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. I hadn't put the other one in there. I've got a tub full of tubing, and believe it or not, I've got every color just about it except pink. Ran to the Dollar Tree yesterday. We had to go to town. They don't have all their Easter stuff out yet, so they have no tubing out at all. So I have the teal tubing, but it just didn't add it. It didn't do anything for me.
Karen Hunter says she loves the truck.
Yeah. I don't guess the trucks are going to go out of season for You know, for a while it was just like at Christmas time. Now you can, every season, have a truck. Okay, 2 more. Then we'll put the sign on, and then we'll do the other embellishment. But around the bottom, we only did every other one. So my thought was, okay, what am I going to put in that other one? You wouldn't have to put anything if you didn't want to. If you had some cute Easter eggs, you could put hot glue Easter eggs in there.
Karen says she thinks the trucks are here to stay.
Yeah, I think so too. They've just about made them in every color now. I actually had the Magnolia design stencil of the truck, but I haven't tackled it yet to try it. I could make whatever color truck I wanted to. I'm just hesitant to tackle it. But you could add, like I said, Easter eggs. You could add maybe pink deco mesh in these every other one. Maybe you would like the hot pink ribbon. It was just kind of glittery, and it was just too much, I thought. This is a pale pink with the pale teal, so. All right, y'all have any questions about how long I cut the ribbons? The truck ribbons are cut to 12. The teal is cut to 15. If you did not want the half loop and you just wanted to add them as 2 ribbons, then you would cut them at 12 also. I didn't want to do every other one around the top because I just felt like it needed the pop of color. But when I put the sign on, I may change my mind. I don't know. Okay, I've already attached my pipe cleaners so that the glue would have time to dry. I cut off the little jute hanger because we don't need that. I just took a stapler, stapled my pipe cleaners in, and then twisted them, put a little glue there. So since it's oblong, I'm going to find if there's a narrow or thin. It's not going to cover the entire middle, but see, it is going to cover a lot of those ribbons on the side. But even if we just get a little bit of, it will cover the bows for sure, but that's okay. It gives us a little. So I kind of want 2 here and 2 here. They're not going to be exact because they're not placed exactly the same across from each other on the frame. But that's pretty much where I want it. So I can run these 2 pipe cleaners. I can either push that up or I can actually run it beside it. If I needed to save ribbon, see those 2 right there, I would not have had to put the half bow because you're not going to see it. But you want to make sure you get through some of your mesh and around the frame. You don't want to just be tying it to your pipe cleaner. You want to secure it. And sometimes these pipe cleaners, I actually have a needle somewhere that I can thread. All right, I'm just going to fold that one down. I'm going to pull those there for a minute until I get the other 2 in, because I want to make sure my sign is over as far as it needs to be. To me, sometimes it takes longer to put the sign on than it does to put the mesh on. You don't want it sunk way down in your mesh. You kind of want it floating on the top, but you want it in the middle pretty much. And the sign's just what, maybe 1/4 inch MDF.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it may not be treated, so I always spray my wreaths with a clear coat of, is it the Krylon? It's not the Krylon, Rust-Oleum clear coat, which helps keep the ribbons from fading, and it kind of puts a seal on your sign too. All right, I want to make sure I've got it around the wires right. Sometimes I put a hanger on my wreaths and sometimes I don't. Like this one, I probably won't, because that way they can adjust it how they need to. Because see, they've got this whole wire right here to hang it. But I'm not going to tighten those. And see, it should be straight because I've got them around the rim, the crossbar on both sides. But I usually have to hang it up outside and look at it. But, and of course, then you've messed up all your ribbons. So you have to go back and pull some mesh out. This is one reason I like the ruffles better, because it's easier. To me, with the poofs, you've got a lot of open spaces. And it's harder to get your ribbons to lay, or for me it is, to lay the way I want them to over a poof. I like the frilly look of the ruffle. But you can see the loop a little bit on the sides, but not a whole lot. But I wouldn't, I usually don't worry a whole lot with them right now until I hang it up and get ready to take a picture and adjust them all. It's just easier for me. I told y'all I don't really do final things with the wreath laying down. I usually hang it up. So it's hard just sitting here. But, all right, but what? You could just leave it like this if you wanted to. I mean, that's a pretty good pop of color. But I wanted to do something where all this white was at the bottom, because see, you've got like this whole space here. And I tried several things, and I decided what I wanted to do was to use the carrots, because I had enough of them that I could put them in the kit. And let's see, I'm going to need 6 if I don't put any around here. I might put some around there. I might not. But what I'm going to do with them, and you know, Ed noticed that on the sign, on the packaging, it says includes clip. Well, there's no clip of any kind. I guess I don't read the packaging usually. But they're just carrots. There's no clips to them. But the way I'm gonna, that one they kind of shorted with its stem. But the way I'm gonna get them to stick, I believe, I'm gonna try it. I didn't try this ahead of time. This pipe cleaner that's sticking out, this will stick to mesh. I mean, glue to mesh really nice. You could just do this. But it's gonna be up and under here. That's where that poof is at, which they're not gonna stand out quite as much. But you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to just take this tie wrap and twist it and tie it off, and then just find a little area to put a carrot, my guess is you could probably glue them like that if you wanted to. But I think what I'm going to try doing is taking the pipe cleaner and twisting it, but not quite as short. And then I'm going to try to put my carrot down in there to where it's just kind of peeking out. But I'm going to glue it to, I better put on these. I'm going to glue it to the pipe cleaner. And see. It's not really, on this particular one, it's not going all the way down into the mesh. But I believe it'll be okay. We'll see. And it wants, well, you can feel the glue all the way through these things. All right, I don't know if you can see what I did. All right, now that may not work because when you pick up the wreath, it kind of sags. So I might, you figure it out as you go. I might take this mesh and move it over and kind of glue it there. That will keep my carrot from dropping down and drooping. Okay. I think that'll work for that one. And I don't know if you can see, but see, it's just kind of sticking out at the end of the thing. And I'm going to do that with every other one. And see, this one might come up a little bit. So let's do this. Like I said, that's one good thing. You know, your mesh is really good holding glue. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to try it this way this time. And just put a lot of mesh there at the end, so wherever it grabs is what it's going to stay glued to. You just got to be careful if you're putting your hands up and under there, because that glue will go right through this mesh. So my carrots aren't going to be real noticeable. I may put a couple up here that can be seen, but these are just kind of sticking out around the edges. You don't have to do this on yours. You could put in a piece of pretty pink mesh and give it a little pop of color right there. Oops. That worked pretty good, putting it on the carrot. And hold it for just a minute to let it attach to that deco mesh. And I always, before I mail out anything, go through. I put tissue paper in all my loops, and I pull on anything that I have glued in there, because you don't want your customer to get their wreath, open their box, and a carrot be in the bottom of the box. It can happen, because we know the post office is not real careful with our package. It was funny today. I was watching the mailman as he pulled up in our yard, and it was just cold. I didn't have a package, but he didn't want to walk through the neighborhood, evidently. But he had the back of his truck opened, and after he had put our mail in the box, he walked back, and I guess he didn't pick up a box here, but anyway, he had a box in his hand and he just threw it into the back of that mail truck. I said, that's how they are with our packages. I might need another thing of glue, Ann. Do you remember where they are? I don't think I had to send him in after anything last week, but it's taken a little more glue than I thought. And like I said, the ribbons are all wonky now. That's one thing about this ribbon. This is a canvas ribbon and is really good quality. This is a little bit thinner, and all it takes is just a little bump on it and it's no longer straight. The ends try to curl, and thank you. All right. Let's do this one.
Judy Smith says it's going to be real cute.
I love the turquoise and the pink. It's not something that I would have thought I would have liked, but and I was just afraid the hot pink was just, it was just almost in your face too much. So that was, Ed really liked it, but I overruled him. I get to do that. It's my name on this. He's my shipping manager. He gets to go to the post office. mail everything. Making a wreath is just kind of, or the way I do it, I have an idea and I usually just throw things in a basket like this that I think I might use that and I might use that. And then once I start putting it together, I work with it until I get something on it I like. You could put as much embellishments on this as you wanted to. Just remember, the more you put on, if you're going to sell it, the more you've got to sell it for, the more you get in it. And I have found that not every wreath needs a huge bow. Some people, and the wreaths are beautiful, and if that's the way they choose to do it, that's fine. It's not my choice.
Karen Hunter says my hubby is also my shipping manager.
Yeah,
for the bottles I make.
For the bottles? I bet that's hard to box up bottles and stuff and keep them safe. But some people would do this and then have 3 big bows. Damon does that a lot. The sign's kind of long for that because it would cover up. But, and you know, ribbon's expensive, and there's no telling how much he has in those bows. Of course, you know, he also probably sells them for $150. I don't want my wreaths to have to be sold for that much. So I try to keep the cost down. It's still a pretty wreath, and those people that have $100 that they want to spend on a over-the-top wreath, that's fine. But you kind of have to find what your client, what your customer is happy with and comfortable with. And right now, I'm probably selling more. I don't know how many of you have looked on my site, but I offer 2x6s, aren't they, Ed? That Ed cuts and I stain, and decoupage old vintage hems on them. I've probably sold 10 times more of those for $14.95 than I have anything else over the last couple of months. They make great gifts, and that's, you know, people don't have a whole lot of money right now. And I got glue on my finger. All right, that should get them all the way around. And they're just a little, you just kind of see a hint of them. All right, that ribbon's already turned. I'll fix my ribbons, but I believe I'm going to go ahead and I think the sign is okay. It's sturdy. I think it's even enough. Let me pull out a little bit of this white.
Judy Smith said she likes seeing the mesh and adding little things in. And yes, you have to know how much your people are willing to pay.
How much people are willing to pay. The sign is good, so what I'm going to do is cut that off and then twist it around that inner bar again several times. But just make sure that it's not sharp, anything sharp. Okay, now comes the decision if I want to put any carrots on the top, around this away. I know I don't want to do 6. And you know, sometimes I'll even walk away. I'll hang a wreath up in the utility room where I hang them, and just walk away, and when I go out there I look at it and then I decide what I want to do to change it. Or my biggest thing with adding more and more stuff, I usually do pretty good keeping my mesh wreaths reasonable. My problem is with grapevines. I just kind of seem to keep adding more and more florals.
Karen wants to know if you found it carrots at Dollar Tree.
I did. And like I said, I believe the packs of 4 were from last year. This year, I believe they have them in packs of 6. They've got some of their Easter stuff out. And I'll tell you, they've got some cute signs. I bought a little, almost a vintage-looking bunny that had 2 carrots that hung down that said Happy Easter. So, you know, don't bypass the Dollar Tree thinking that you can't find some signs there, because you can find some neat signs. And, of course, these carrots could be used if you have a 3-tiered tray. You could use them to decorate with some greenery and grass and a dough bowl. There's a lot of different ways they could be used and not. Same with the eggs. Okay, let's see. It may not be needed. I mean, I could just put one here.
She said, but Karen said that they had burlap bunnies on the stick, 2 for pack.
Oh, I didn't see those. And you know, it's all Dollar Trees are not the same. We have one in a town that's about 13 miles, right, from us, and they're not as good as the one that's in the other direction, about 13 miles. Okay, I don't want just 2, because you know you need to do in. I don't like the way this one. Let me see if I can glue that down. You need to do in odd numbers, 3 or 5. And I'm pretty sure 5's too many for the top. So I need to figure out how to maybe put 3 there at the top. There's a piece of metal stuck in that one. Okay. I don't know. All right, what do y'all think? I don't know how to do it because it's not got the ruffles. I don't know how to, you can't just stick it there coming out of nothing. You need to, like a triangle. I could do that. I don't know if they're really needed though.
I don't like them.
You don't like them?
Mm-mm.
I would have to hang it up. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think I should put the carrots around? Can you see? Do they look out of place and weird? Do you think they're needed or not? I may just leave them in there and hang it up like this, but not glue them, and walk by and look at it a time or 2. So you always have to fix the tails.
This carrot here is showing, and it looks like you got 4 carrots instead of 3.
Oh, yeah, and it's on the bottom.
Karen said she doesn't like it either. They take away from the sign.
It's, okay, let's take them out. Let y'all look at them without it. Then you just have a hint of carrots, just on the edges. I'm not too sure, but what this is not plenty of color. There again, I don't like the poofs, but that's me. I would have preferred, had I been doing this and not teaching the poofs.
Judy said no carrots on top. I like the ones sticking out around the edge.
Okay, then we'll do no carrots. This would have been, I would have used the same mesh, but I would have done the ruffles. The poof is just not my thing. Okay, well then I won't put carrots around the top. But there's a lot of different ways or a lot of different things that you could have done. Okay, but I'll see. And like I said, I don't usually list my wreaths right after. I did one the other day that Ed and I both really liked. And I don't think I haven't shown it to him, have I? You want to get it hanging out there? And I just kind of put a picture of it on my page, and he actually cut out the bunny, and I had the ribbon, and so I took the black and white check and covered scrapbook paper and covered the bunny. Here, just take that one out there. So this, let's hold it up right. This is it that I did with the white. Actually, this is the poof also, because I had to practice the poof before I tried to teach it to y'all. So I had a wreath made, and I took this bunny and just covered it in a black and white check, and just brought the brighter colors out in the pink. And Ed and I really like it. As soon as I get pictures of it, it's going up on my website. But I told Ed today, I laughed and told Ed, but the reason I did it was, you see the ribbon? Do you see what's on the ribbon? It's got the same snowball stuff, and then it's got the bunnies in the black and white check. And they had this in gray. Seemed like they had it in green or something, but I'm just drawn to the black check. But anyway, today I had one comment on it, and it was
Judy says that's beautiful.
I like it, but the one comment on on my page said nothing. Doesn't look anything like an Easter wreath. Well, okay. To me it does, and it's fine. But I just laughed. But you know, you're not going to please everybody. So, but I like it. So I have this one I'm going to put on the website. I'm going to put this one in with the teal on the website, and a kit to make this. Everything, even the zip ties that you need for the thing. So that's it for tonight, and let me remind you to spread the love, S-H-A-R-E, and your name will go in the bucket. We need to get us a nice basket or something. It's a cup is all it is. But your name will go in there for the drawing to be held on Tuesday, because this is Friday. So that's kind of our plan, is to finish off a wreath on Friday. Tuesday I will be doing, some people have nicknamed it the cruffle, but it's the woodland ruffle because of the lady that invented it. It's named after her. So people have just shortened it to the caruffle. It involves curls and ruffles. Now I will tell you that if you plan to do it, and even if you want to practice on it, it takes more than one row. It doesn't take 2 full rows of mesh, but it takes more than one. So it's not one that you can do, you know, with just 1 row of mesh. So, okay, I think that's it for tonight, and I really appreciate y'all being here. If you're new, be sure you go back and follow my page. You're also eligible to spread the love, put it on your page, but you need to come back here to this video and put in eggs. Did I say that earlier? That's the word we're going to use, is eggs. That really helps me because, y'all, I forget from one week to the other. It's like, okay, what were we giving away this week?
And Facebook doesn't always put it on.
Yeah, especially if it's someone who has not liked my page. It will show me how many shares I have, but when I click on that to see who they are, it may not tell me everybody because of their privacy settings, so they won't give me their name. So I have to have that name in the comments to be able to know for sure. Now, if you've liked and followed my page, most of you, the last few weeks, Facebook does tell me who and what and all that. So, okay, well, that's it for tonight. I got to get this glue off my mat. And y'all enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed weekend. I hope you stay safe, and I will see you Tuesday night at 6:30. Bye.